How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. So last time we spoke, it was just as the man was being
launched.
put out to the world. Since then, you've been here. You did the Glastonbury John Peel show. It seemed like you guys were on a serious level of excitement, just being back, just watching back that gig. How did it feel?
It was just as much of an experience for us as it was for them.
A good one?
Yeah. I was saying earlier that I wear these in-ear monitors to hear the band, and the crowd was so loud I couldn't hear the band anymore.
I guess you probably haven't played in a tent for quite a few years now.
It's been a while, but it felt good. We played in that tent 13 years earlier.
Yeah, you said on the way up and on the way down. Yeah.
It's good to be back.
And it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah. And talking about Wonderful, Wonderful then, did it feel different this time compared to other albums, the process of playing and creating the songs?
It's evolving, yeah. When it's there was an innocence to making the first record, and an energy that we had less going on, individually in our lives, and now we've got a lot more going on, and so it's tough to get everybody together and on the same page, but we finally got across that finish line.
Is it totally finished? Wonderful, Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. And it's coming out in the autumn, in the fall. Okay.
Yes.
And you have said, Brandon, that it's kind of very personal for you in terms of the lyrics.
Yeah.
How is that process for you? I'm curious again in terms of laying yourself bare in that way. Is more than ever before, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. I think it came about through I've made 2 solo records now, and I noticed that I felt a little bit more freedom to delve into this territory, because I wasn't representing Ronnie and Mark and Dave as well. And when we got in to make this record, I just struggled to figure out what to write about, and I realized that it was okay for me to do that, and that's still going to be a Killers record, and I'm just doing my thing. And so I think that's how I sort of got permission to do it. It took me to do the solo records to really get there.
I saw somewhere that you talked about Battleborn and how you felt kind of, and please correct me if I'm wrong, aimless a little bit as a band in terms of focus. And it was different this time. Yeah,
we were drifting a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we're searching, but this time we were aiming at the same thing, it felt like.
Yeah. Well, last time we were being pulled in 5 different directions. We worked with 5 different producers. You sort of like, this trail or this road,
Yeah.
We went with just Jackknife Lee on this record.
Yeah.
And that was the correct decision. So it was good.
Where did you do it?
A record store in downtown Las Vegas that has a recording studio in the back.
Wow.
So
we needed a change.
It was a cool place to make a record. It's called 11th Street Records.
Just like busy and downtown and lots going on.
Yeah, you just pop out and you see, all the weirdos downtown and bright lights. It's cool.
Talking about Vegas, we should probably play The Man, which the video is based in Vegas. I presume. It sure looks like it is anyway. Okay, so here it is. It's The Killers and The Man. Right, there you go. That was The Man from The Killers, and we have Brandon and Ronnie in the studio with us right now. As someone who grew up in Dublin and has been to Vegas twice for like weekends, I am so curious as to what it must be like to live your life, be born and bred in somewhere like Las Vegas. What's it like?
It wasn't until we really left and went on tour. None of us had been abroad until we got a record deal. And it wasn't until we left that we realized that we were from a place that other people saw as a mad place.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's normal, and for you, it's mental.
It's kind of a novelty place.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel real. Like it doesn't feel like normal things should happen there.
But we do have some roots there.
Yeah, and culture.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of the Wild West.
Yeah,
and we got the things that you hear about, like with the mafia. It sort of started with mafia and Mormons, which is a weird thing right away.
Yeah.
Shout out to my family, the mafia.
And mine, the Mormons.
I mean, you do have the most mafia name ever. Ronnie Vanucci is pretty incredible.
So, but it really, once you get outside of the glitz and the glamour of the Strip, or whatever you want to call it, it's suburbia, pretty
Yeah.
much. Except for there's more advertisements for strip clubs than in other towns.
Yeah.
And we have slot machines in the laundromats.
Yeah.
And there are probably more pictures of Elvis and Frank Sinatra than you're accustomed to. But that's the normal for us.
And didn't you used to work as a photographer in a wedding chapel, Ronnie?
Yeah, that was my last job.
I mean, that must have been, you must have some stories to tell from that.
I do. Yeah. I do.
Okay, I think we should play some music now. Some music that you guys have kindly selected for us. There's a wonderful list of bands in front of me. It's really the whole spectrum of music represented in front of me right now. And you guys are fully in control of Radio 1. So you can decide what we play, what we start with, what we end with in this playlist.
Yeah, go for it.
What do you want?
Okay. I love Dancing with Myself by Billy Idol. It's still a staple on classic rock stations in America.
Yeah.
People always talk about the 80s movies and these iconic scenes. And the one that always gets overlooked is in Can't Buy Me Love. There's a scene where there's these house parties. I don't know if parties have ever happened like this, but you wish that they would in high school, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, Dance With Myself comes on, and it just solidifies it for me as the ultimate party song.
Okay, love it. Let's hear it. Ronnie, over to you.
Okay, so shout out to my dear old dad. When I was a young boy, he one of the first talks about women we ever had a soundtrack, and it was
wow.
Legs by ZZ Top.
The Killers are in the party playlist tonight. We have Brandon and Ronnie in the studio. So, Brandon, you're up next. Where do you want to go?
Okay, so I'm going with Never Let Me Down Again by Depeche Mode. One of my favorite bands from Basildon, and I love it, so I chose that.
In the swing of this party, and Ronnie, you're up. What is next?
Man, we used to roll around town. It's the first time I bought like a new car, and it had a great sound system. And I remember this song came out, and I loved it. It was The Roots with Cody Chestnut and Seed 2.0.
Party playlist tonight. We have Brandon and Ronnie in the studio. Brandon, it is your turn next. What's it going to be?
I'll go with a wonderful collaboration by the Talking Heads and Brian Eno, Once in a Lifetime.
We have a few songs left. We are right in the middle of a party playlist with the Killers. We have Ronnie and Brandon in the studio selecting the music tonight. We have had Billy Idol. We've had The Roots. We've had Talking Heads. What is next?
What a talented band and great bunch of dudes from a place called France.
Okay, I'm guessing this one.
Yeah, can you guess it?
It's either that one or that one.
It'll be Phoenix. And when I heard J-Boy, we were about midway through, or towards the end of making our record, and it made me rethink some things. It was so good.
One?
Yeah, J-Boy by Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's a right banger.
And J-Boy on BBC Radio 1. We're in the middle of the party playlist, and we have the Killers in the studio. We've gone from Whitney to Phoenix, and it is time for the final song before the lights come on and everyone's got to go home. It's a big responsibility, Brandon. You
A little nervous.
you look like you're feeling the pressure.
Okay.
The responsibility of this selection.
I'm gonna keep with my theme. A Little Respect by Erasure.
Oh, what a tune!
The party playlist with Annie Mac.